But here's the real gist of this whole thing is on the internet, anybody that's a top law enforcement official or government official, they don't use email. And the reason is, and here's an example, when I try to put a message on the elance.com message board after disabling the script, this is what happens. So as you can see that I can't just post a message on there in normal HTML. It has to include script, which makes it easy to alter. In other words, just about anything you write electronically and transfer over the internet can be altered. That's what it comes down to. And with the ability to alter the text of documents, I already know the text of my documents has been altered. But even through a secure site, the text of your messages can be altered, as mine have been. That can be used to incriminate you, to be used as phony evidence against you, because it's so easy to do, you know. So as you can see, I can't send an electronic message even using a secure message board without subjecting it to alterations by allowing for JavaScript and other scripts to be active inside the message. And as the humble journalist has found out firsthand, is when somebody can alter those emails, especially to a government or law enforcement agency, guess what? With the provisions of the Patriot Act, that's all it takes to make you a suspect, target, and the object of a self-written warrant. Okay? So once your communications have been compromised, then anybody using the Patriot Act can be targeted. That's how easy it is. Don't need any judicial review, don't need a warrant. They can get the whole thing started just by going, hey, look what we found. And they can deliberately alter that email or download or attachment or anything they want to get one of these things started on anybody. Again, that's why all the smart people in the top echelons of law enforcement don't use email. You know? And little advice from the humble journalist, because as long as the Patriot Act's around, and as long as a judge doesn't have to look at the communication and say, hey, that might have been altered, having the technical expertise to know that that script can be easily manipulated to say whatever they want, then guess what, folks? Not only that, is your cell phone calls being picked up and listened to at will, basically, by the blanket coverage of cell phone calls. All that data is stored and accumulated, and if they want to pick somebody out because of something they said on the phone, they're already using flags and code words and flag words that will get the computers to focus on those phone calls. You say the wrong word, on a cell phone call, and guess what? There you go again. So the key, again, is what I've been saying all along, is that once you allow big-time law enforcement to write their own warrants and just go, hey, look, this makes this person suspicious, then you've opened the door to a police state, basically. They can do whatever the hell they want and start going through your property, going through your bank accounts, your attorneys, your house, sneak and peek, which it's hard to sneak and peek. It's way beyond that. And all you got to do is say the wrong thing or send an email, and the game is afoot. And perhaps the most insidious part of all this is, like in my case, after almost a year and a half, they basically record every word, every phone conversation, alter emails, do whatever they want. They stage these phony photo ops, by running every variety of lowlife and at me, people that behave abnormally, let's say, and then they accumulate more and more of this phony stuff as well, alterations, and then they can even splice together sentences and words and whatnot and have them come out however they want them to come out. So when they go to, like today I'm going to try to get a room at a hotel, and they can go there, or a job application, you know, an employer, potential employer, and say, hey, look what we got, you know, look what he said, you know, look at who he associates with, you know, because they got people standing, take a picture. They can splice stuff together, they can alter emails, and they can go to these people and say, hey, you know, this guy's a really bad guy, and you shouldn't give him a room, you shouldn't give him a job, you shouldn't give whatever. And I see these people, you know, I see how they are when I meet them, and then how they are a little later, go back to find out about the job or whatever, and it's like somebody turned a switch on in their head. And I know why that is, because after a year and a half, you know, they've cooked up and doctored and altered and taken so many, you know, phony portrayal photos, and it's all, you know, most of it's just technical smoke and mirrors. But they can go to somebody, you know, to make a pretty convincing case that, or at least in their mind, you know, that this person is something other than what they present themselves to be. And that effectively prevents employment, allows them to do it more and more and more, keeps you from, you know, say employment also keeps you from housing. And the cycle goes on and on. So for me, 17, almost 18 months, you know, they got a warehouse full of this nonsense, you know. 90% of it's bullshit, the rest of it's just intercepts of communication, some of them altered. How'd you like everything he said on your phone calls to be recorded, and then have somebody splice them all together and take them out of context so that they sounded bad to somebody they were presented to later. That's what's going on here, and I understand it too, and I think they know that I understand it, and that's why they're using the resources to stop me from writing the book, because I understand it perfectly, and that's what the book is about. Pattern of Conduct by G.M. Rice, and video is just a support. That's what's in the book. And lastly, you've got the alteration, corruption, and disabling of property, hardware, belongings, while they're doing their sneak and peek. They get other people to do this too, access, you know, your computer fraudulently, for instance. Another form of planning and evidence, which I've discussed before. But that's another provision, you know, and while it can be kept secret, you know, it's a classified element of their investigation. It allows them to go in there and also like put anything they want, anywhere they want, including the hard drive of your computer. And you put all those components together, and you got a perfect storm of continued catastrophes and disasters for the subject. That's also what the book's about.